So here I am with Spurgeon's sermons, and you can see I delight in putting notes on my book. And I came across a little phrase that he used where he says, "I have generally found that when a cart needs a bell, it is a dust cart." Now, I had to do a little bit of thinking on this and research, and historical research shows that dust carts were basically garbage collectors, and that the garbage collectors would use a bell to signify their presence in the neighborhood so that people could bring out their trash and have it disposed of properly. Now, Spurgeon says this little phrase with respect to people that are bragging about their sinless life. So we'll go to the quote that he uses here. Once again, my books are kind of messed up with a lot of my notes, but I really enjoy. "When I hear a man talk about being perfect in the flesh, I hope and trust that he is willingly lying. At any rate, I do not believe this. I would like to see his perfection rather than to hear talk about it. I have generally found that when a cart needs a bell, it is a dust cart." Then he goes on to say he also has found out that when people are carrying bullion from the Bank of England, they don't put a bell on or yell and scream out. In other words, if you're filled with grace, you kind of keep quiet about it. But the people who are bragging about their sinless life and their perfection, they're like the cart in the neighborhood that needs the bell, but it's really a dust cart. It's really garbage and refuse. So this comes from the city of London in the mid-1800s, and you may never hear this phrase anywhere else, but I found it to be very interesting that none of us are to brag about how God is bringing us into a holy life, free of sin and filled with the love of God. We're not to brag, but just simply be humble about it and not act like the refuse collectors in London with a cart that needs a bell. Now, I might add to that probably these carts stunk because they were your counterpart to our modern day garbage trucks. Thank you for watching and listening to this video. Oh, I should give you the reference to that. "The Meat and Drink of the New Nature" is the title of that sermon, and I'm not sure where you can find it in the Metropolitan Tabernacle pulpit, but that's where that came from. End of video.